This blank removal is really going to be one of the best features. Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so today we are going to first start off with the chat as to not have the microphone in front of me. Sorry about that. But yeah, welcome to the episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we answer all the latest news in tech and mobile, answer your questions live. Overall, this week, it's really been a Samsung heavy week as we get to the Galaxy Note 9 announcement, a phone which I definitely do not have or know anything about. So, without further ado, before we get started on the Galaxy Note 9, I do want to talk, and all the news, I do want you guys, hey, check out our last video, our robot vacuum. I'm trying more and more different types of B-roll and want your guys' feedback. So if you can, if you have, I think it's like 4-minute video, if you can watch it, give me your guys' feedback. I'm doing more and more B-roll and want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section of that video. It would really help me out. All right, now let's get started with the topics, which the first one is revealing what the S Pen can do on the Galaxy Note 9, and I can neither confirm nor deny that these features are on the Note 9. So the Galaxy Note 9 will have a Bluetooth S Pen, but everyone's wondering, well, what can the S Pen do? So these are the big ones. The first one is definitely the fact that, one, you can actually have control over your music. So basically it's a pause and play button when you're listening to music. That's cool. Overall, it's I think it's an okay feature, but it's not the one that excites me or that I like the most out of it. The second one is a little bit more, again, the shutter button. So say if you're using something like a selfie stick or anything where you put your phone on there, the fact that you have a clicker with it, like I do for my camera right here, is really nice when you have that. So I like that ability to be able to just click it and have it right away. The other one is you can remotely unlock it. Of course, that is unsecure. So if you have the face unlock, or if you have the fingerprint scanner, it's not gonna override that unless you give it special permission to. So yeah. But the big thing is that everyone's been wondering, and I can tell you it's true, is that if you press or hold it, it's going to do different functionalities. So you can actually create a single press function to do whatever, and you can create a double press function to do whatever. I think this really is what people have been asking for with Bixby. Samsung really closed it off with that Bixby button, but this, they are really giving users the ability to do whatever they want. Now it's mappable by default to the S Pen S Note app, so you have that, but in all honesty, I think the remap is what everyone really wanted, and you can kind of create your own features with it. And again, it's pretty interesting to see that, so that's a really cool one. All right, and the other big thing is the Galaxy X. We are getting more insight into what Samsung is creating with the Galaxy X. And honestly, with this phone, I'm losing more interest in it being my main phone. Maybe it could be a secondary phone, but overall, it's not what I had seen in the past with Samsung's prototypes. So basically what they want to do is kind of how, if you guys ever saw the Note Edge, when you had the cover over it, the edge part was still open, so it acted like a feed. And that's essentially what the bottom of the Galaxy X is going to act like. So when you close it, you can actually see everything on the phone that's happening. So if you have a new text message, you can see the text message. If you want to call someone, you can pick up the call. That kind of ability you will have on the bottom of this phone. But again, it's not what I had thought it would be. And that is kind of disappointing. So I will say I am losing a bit of interest with this. So it's very interesting to see where this goes. But overall, as of right now, I'm kind of losing a little bit of interest in the Galaxy X because of this. So it's looking less and less like what I wanted. So we'll see what happens. All right, now we do have 2 updates on the Galaxy Watch as well, which the Galaxy Watch is confirmed to be launching on August 24th. Now again, this is in Korea. But regardless, it's not going to be launching at IFA as a lot of people speculated. So the Galaxy Watch will be launching with the Galaxy Note 9. If it launches on the 24th, the same day as it does in Korea, in the US, we are waiting to still hear about that, but we're definitely going to have it there on that date on August 24th. So yeah, pretty interesting that we're going to get that. But the more interesting thing, and God, I hope Samsung had learned the lesson, and it looks like it finally might have, it looks like they're going to have two Galaxy Watches. So you're going to have a smaller one right here, and then you're going to have a bigger one right here. It's a slight difference, but it really is a great difference in terms of having a bigger watch size and a smaller watch size. I think Samsung's needed this for a long time, and they finally are bringing it to their smartwatch. It was one thing to have like an old version and a new version, but to have a Galaxy Watch or S4 update basically with two sizes is what Samsung needed to rejuvenate the wearable devices, and hopefully this is a good influx for that for them. So definitely excited about this. I really am interested to see how this turns out. So instead of the 1.2 screen, I can get a 1.3 screen and be happy, and my wife, for instance, would have the 1.2 screen and be much more happier with that. All right, now we also have the final specs on the Galaxy Tab S4. So all of you guys have been asking me about all these different Samsung launch products. This is probably the most we have on every single one of them. So the Galaxy Tab S4 will be a 2560 by 1600 pixels. You are going to have a 16 by 10 aspect ratio on a 10.5 inch display. I love this new design. I'm so a fan of the 16 by 10 over the 4 by 3 aspect ratio, so I'm really a fan of this. You're gonna have 4 gigs of RAM, DDR4X, so that's really good high speed RAM, which I like. 64 gigs of storage, 3.1 USB, Bluetooth 5.0, Wi-Fi AC. You're gonna basically the best of the best in terms of specs, except for the processor, which is going to be the Snapdragon 835 from last year. So it is what it is. But the biggest thing is you have a 7,300 milliamp, which I believe is 300 more than the last one. So I like the increase in battery, of course, as always. Again, it's going to be AKG, and it's going to support the new DeX, which the new DeX might be coming to more than just the Tab S4. Not that I know anything. But yeah. So that's what it's going to have. It's also going to have an iris unlock instead of a fingerprint scanner, so just know that as well. All right, now on the S10, yes, we even have stuff on the S10. 3 things actually on the Galaxy S10. So the first thing is they are going to use Qualcomm's in-touch fingerprint scanner. What that means is it will be ultrasonic. So basically, this kind will allow it to be able to be used faster than the current one on Vivo, as well as it's also going to be able to be done when wet. So even if your thumb is wet, you can still use it on there. So that's really cool. Again, anything that's faster and that moves better and it's going to allow us to not have a hiccup is great, and I think that's going to be a big thing. Again, especially to get that bezel-less kind of design that we are moving towards. Another big thing is that the next year versions looks like they will have DDR5 RAM. So we were just talking about RAM in terms of just how it is going. Well, next year we will probably have 8 gigs of DDR5 RAM, which is insane that this is going to be on a smartphone, but it's also because we really want it to work out that way because of 5G. 5G is going to consume more, and it's going to need better technology, and this is going to bring it all in one chip from Samsung. So not bad on that front. So really excited about that. And then finally, Gorilla Glass 6 is going to most likely be on the Galaxy Tab S10. I think it will honestly be on a phone before that, but Samsung always has it on their phones typically first. So we'll have to wait and see. Samsung owns one of the biggest stakes in Corning, which is the company that makes Gorilla Glass. So because of that, they're usually the first ones to get the newest Gorilla Glass. Every Gorilla Glass has basically launched on a Samsung smartphone. So you can expect Gorilla Glass 6 to launch on a Samsung smartphone. Overall, this one is just supposed to be able to take a lot more drops than before. My main concern is it going to scratch as easily? Because for me, Gorilla Glass 5 scratched a lot easier than everything else before. So yeah, I just hope it doesn't scratch as easily. And then, not to be outdone with everything Samsung that we regurgitated today, the LG V40 looks like it will come out in between the Galaxy Note 9 and the iPhone 9. So originally it's basically thinking to be released in early October. That can change due to Apple's launch schedule. Sometimes LG is hoping to come out before the iPhone, but that would insinuate that Apple's moving their launch back. Or not their launch, but basically, yeah, the launch of the smartphone, not the announcement of the smartphone. Their announcement's still going to be at that time, but the launch will be later. So that's how it'll work out. Overall, I would be surprised if Apple launches it that late, but it is saying that it will be before the iPhone 9, which the current Apple rumor is that the iPhone X2 or the iPhone, whatever it's going to be called, 11, is going to launch first, and the iPhone 9, the cheaper version, will launch later. We'll have to wait and see how that works out, but overall, really good. And a very interesting thing happened, and that is Google set a developer conference for November 7th and 8th. And we're like, wait, the Pixel launches in October, doesn't it? That's the really interesting part, because, you know, we're expecting the latest version of Android, Android P, to be finalized August. So next month, Android P should be finalized. But the big thing about that is like, well, it's going to launch during this time. So what's really going on then? Is it going to be October, or are we gonna have to wait till November to get the Pixel 3? I think if the Pixel delays that long, it will be a big mistake, and it will cause an influx of sales for Samsung, LG, and iPhone, because people don't want to wait that long always for the latest smartphone. And if Pixel moves a month back, that could hurt its sales. I'm really interested to see if this is true. This is one I'm kind of having a hard time believing if Google will push their launch that day. But maybe instead they are going to make it a different kind of announcement, like an announcement on Android tablets or a new version of Chrome OS or something along those lines, more than that hardware. I don't know. I'm really curious to see. I would be interested to see if maybe they would do a Google Home event, just Google Home for that event or something along those lines. That would be pretty interesting. But I would just really be surprised if the Pixel doesn't announce till early November. And then, I mean, is it going to launch a week later? It has to launch before Black Friday, or else they're really going to hurt in sales. So we'll have to wait and see how all that works out. All right, guys, now we finished with the news, so we're going to start on your questions. Again, if you have any questions you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Couldn't have another cup of coffee. I already had a lot of coffee today because I tested this new Keurig that isn't out yet. It's pretty cool. Yeah, had a fun time. Are you really excited about the Galaxy Note 9, or just BSing with us? Because I'm not. I might pass on the upgrade for the first time, maybe because I'm growing up about all cell phones are boring this year. I agree that a lot of cell phones have been boring this year. Am I really excited about the Note 9? I would say that the Note 9 battery life looks promising with a 4,000 milliamp battery. Can't say that I've tested the Note 9 battery life, but I would say preliminary things, it would sound like it's going to be good. What was that about the Note 9? Tug your ear if you have the Note 9. Guys, how many times do we have to go through this? I do not have the Note 9. How my ear is kind of itchy. But yeah, so yes, do not have it. Did you hear about the MacBook throttling? It's a shame, really. They should have added things such as fans to keep it more cool. Yeah, so all right, let's touch a little bit on it, because a lot of different people have talked about the MacBook throttling. So the best two videos on it have been, I forget the guy who first broke it. Dave, I know is his name, but I forget his channel. But he was the one who broke on it first that these MacBooks are throttling. The i9 version basically throttles down to the i7 in speed. Then TDL Today, I believe it's called, basically did his own video and really kind of showed that honestly the performance is better on things besides Premiere. Premiere just doesn't do as well. And I will say that I've always used Premiere, always. And it's funny because a few years back, everyone left Final Cut Pro to jump on Premiere. And now the opposite has happened in the past 2 years. And that is everyone is leaving Premiere to jump to Final Cut Pro again because Premiere hasn't updated stuff. They haven't supported things. They really just have not improved their overall system, which they really need to. So it's a real shame, but it looks like, yeah, even I obviously wouldn't jump to a Final Cut Pro, but I'm looking at DaVinci Resolve right now as an editing software. I really started looking at it because it's supposed to be a lot better than Premiere, and you can basically try out a version that allows you to do a lot of things besides color grading for free. So I'm gonna test that out overall, and maybe I'll do a video on it if I really do like it more, and if a lot of people have done this video, but why I switched from Premiere to this. So yeah, it is an issue with Premiere, I do agree, but at the same time, it is a bad design in terms of throttling. It is. You can't get around it. It is a bad design in terms of throttling with the i9 processor. So yeah, that's about it. Also, unless you're shooting 4K raw footage and up, no one needs the 4 terabyte. 2 terabytes is more than enough for 90% of even the best YouTubers out there. But yeah, for those 10% plus that are shooting in that 4K raw format and up, yes, it would be better to get the 4 terabyte, but most people do not need 4 terabytes. Let's be honest. Unless you're using that high quality of footage, you don't need it. All right. What's better, the Galaxy Note 8 or the iPhone 10? The iPhone 10, I would probably say, is going to be better than the Galaxy Note 8. Overall, well, no, actually, I mean, the Note 8 would have the better... Okay, so the Note 8 has a better battery life. The camera on those two were close. The iPhone 10 had the better video quality, though. God, I did the comparison a long time ago if you want to check out that video. But yeah, I haven't done one recently, so yeah. I don't know. I mean, you're talking about last year's models, really, but again, those are great ones to buy right now, right? Well, actually, not great ones to buy right now. Great ones to buy in a month or two when the prices go down $100. Cheapest of the 3 S10s coming with a fingerprint scanner on the side. Yes, it looks like the fingerprint scanner will be on the side. Again, the reason why Samsung would do that instead of having the fingerprint scanner on the back is so that they can keep uniformity on the back and front, and just the side is going to be different. That is a lot better for production value. With the 10th anniversary S10 coming up, the Note 9 may not be a hit. I really do think that the Note 9 will not be as big of a hit as it could have been if there wasn't so much hype around the S10 series, and if they were able to put more features in the Note 9 as they could have. Samsung wireless charger duo wireless charges watch and phone together. Actually, it's not only that. So I guess I didn't have that on, even though I thought I added it to the news, but Samsung is releasing their dual wireless charger, which can charge 2 smartphones at the same time, or it can charge a smartphone and a Galaxy Watch at the same time. So that's really cool. Instant buy for me, because especially if I can fast charge 2 phones, that's what I've wanted. And I was gonna buy one from Amazon that I wasn't sure how I was gonna do, but that saved me a purchase, so I'm definitely gonna go for that one. Hi Ricky, love the show, never miss it. Thank you, Jose, appreciate that. When I do a factory reset, will it also delete info from the SIM and the memory card? No, when you do a factory reset, it does not touch the SIM or the memory card, so no, it doesn't. Samsung merging the S and Note line. That is a rumor right now. As of right now, it doesn't look like that'll happen next year, but it looks like it will happen going forward. Another article that I forgot to add was that Samsung is moving away after next year to the single-digit upgrade, meaning that you will not have an S10 and then followed by an S11. No, instead you're going to have an S10, then the next year is going to be an S20, then an S30, then an S40, then an S50. It's actually following how Huawei updates theirs, going in increments of 10, as well as LG, by the way. It's going in increments in 10 instead of going single digits anymore. So just so you know, that'll be the difference next year. Let's see. Ricky, show us the Galaxy Note 9. Guys, I don't have the Note 9. And even if I did, I might be under some obligatory thing that allows me from showing you. But I'm not. Everyone is mad at Apple for throttling problem on the new MacBooks. Please explain. So yeah, basically what is happening, if you didn't know what exactly is happening with the new throttling on the the i9 processor can go to a certain speed, and it has a base speed of, I want to say it's 2.2. I really can't afford to put an i9 processor on my computer, so I don't know the exact clock speed of it. But it has a certain, you know, high speed, and then the base speed, the lowest speed it should go is 2.2. Well, when Dave was doing these tests, he actually saw that basically it went below 2.2, which means it was basically going the same speed as the i7 when editing on Premiere. Now, this is an issue with Premiere itself, because Premiere itself isn't optimizing its software to work on Macs, and honestly on PCs as well. Premiere is just lagging. Because of that, people are leaving Premiere, and I'm one of them that might be some of the ones that's doing it. But no matter what, even so, it still throttles it really way down when it comes down to it. Now, again, there have been multiple videos kind of showing that, oh, well, no, it actually still does it faster. If you look at comparisons when editing 4K raw footage on an i9 MacBook versus an i7 MacBook, the i9 might finish 2 minutes before, might finish 3 minutes before on Final Cut or on DaVinci Resolve. And that is notable. I mean, although it might not seem notable, when you're doing about like 5-minute clips, yeah, it's not a big deal. But if you're editing and you're doing editing of 10 minutes, 20-minute videos, that's a really big difference. So you can make it go a lot quicker than you need to. I mean, you're talking about more of, instead of, you know, a minute or 2-minute difference, you could be talking about up to a half an hour difference, and that is money. So overall, yeah, that's a reason why. 5G should bring better battery life. Hopefully it would. Whoa, a whole bunch of people just load. A whole bunch of. Why am I cannot, guys? What is the title of it? Whoa, a whole bunch of things just loaded. There you go. Everyone drink. Let's see. So 5G on any Samsung phone won't be available until 2019. Yes, no smartphone actually. If you didn't know this, no smartphone is supposed to have 5G this year. None. Not one. Because the chip from Qualcomm that is capable of 5G will not be released till next year. Now, there is going to be a chip in smartphones, or sorry, not in smartphones, but in other things, such as a broadband card. Is that what they're still called? Broadband cards? I feel like they're a hotspot. A hotspot that will be coming out this year, along with Moto mods. Moto mods will be coming out with a 5G mod later this year as well. So those will be the first ones to get 5G. Although the network isn't really there yet. I mean, a few cities might have it by the end of the year, but nothing really. Really, 5G is the year of 2019. That's the year of 5G. Any news on the Tab S4? Yeah, if you missed it, it was at the beginning of the video. Go ahead and check out. We went over all the specs of the Tab S4. Tab 4 S Pen will not be Bluetooth. No, Tab S4 will be Bluetooth as well. Xiaomi Redmi Note 5 Pro global version, Honor 7X or S7 Edge seller refurbished on eBay. All cost $200. Which would you buy? Need your advice. Okay, Bernard. I mean, that's a tough competition. I wish you had checked out when we were going over the, what do you call it? The Essential phone, man. That was $250 on Amazon Prime Day. That would have been the easy one to win. But these three at $200. Let me, the main one I do not know is the Xiaomi Note 5. I would say in the US though, you are going to have a bit of trouble with it. Just because from everything I've heard, Xiaomi smartphones have some issues in the US. A lot of carriers don't get, although I would easily say this is the best one out of the three. So yeah, the Xiaomi phone is easily the best one, just for the fact it has a 4,000 milliamp battery, 12 megapixel camera, 6 gigs of RAM, 6-inch display, 1080p display. I would say this one's the best out of the three. So yeah, if you want to know which one's the best spec-wise, this one is easily the best. So yeah, that would be the best spec-wise. It has a faster processor than the Honor 7X, and although it has a compatible processor with the Galaxy S7 Edge, I think the S7 Edge would get better cell reception. But just look under the of that specific model if it'll work well in the US. But yeah. What color is your Note 9? Well, my Note 9, I mean, wait a minute. Look, I'm not going to tell you the color of a blue smartphone that might be on my table, okay? You're not going to trick me. Will the Note 9 come with Android P? I don't believe so. Ricky, have you ever used MoviePass, the cinema subscription service? No, I chose not to go with MoviePass. I instead went with Cinemia, although I have since dropped Cinemia and I'm now using AMC Prime, or sorry, AMC's A-List subscription service. It is way better than all of the rest, and I do have an AMC Buy Me, and I love to watch IMAX and Adobe Prime. So for me, it's easy. Easily, AMC A-List is the best one. If you have an AMC around you, that would be the one I would recommend. But also other movie theaters are going to start to do that, other movie theater chains. So I would look out for those. Cinemia was way better than MoviePass, so check that one out if you want to see something else. But yeah, Cinemia was better than MoviePass, but AMC A-List is better than both. Show us the Note 9. I know you have it. I do not have it. Is it true about the merge between the Galaxy S and Note series? If the news is correct, then I will not buy the Note 9. I'd better wait for the S Beyond 2, which might include an S Pen. No, that part is not true. So yeah. Already went over the MacBook i9 problems. How is your heated coffee cup doing? It's doing okay. I know I still need to do a video on it. Yeah, our Note 9 video we released earlier this week did really well. So I had videos scheduled to go up that day, but I moved them all back because, you know, that was more prevalent. Tomorrow we're gonna have a fun video, which is my Amazon Prime Day tech haul. I've never done a tech haul video. I've just never had enough products to do it. But for Amazon Prime Day, we got a few things. So we got the Essential phone, a couple of other things, a really cool tablet. I mean, all these things were on the list for Amazon Prime Day. So yeah, we're gonna go over that kind of stuff. I think Samsung should merge the Note and S series. The difference isn't that significant enough anymore. I would say that you might be right. I would say they're already kind of doing it with the Plus series, right? The Plus series is very close to the Note series. I would say that if you just had the S10 and the Note 10, that would be a big difference. But because you have the S10 Plus, it's a much smaller difference. Are you invited to the Samsung Unpacked event? No, guys. Unfortunately, we did not get invited to the Samsung Unpacked event. It really sucks. But to be fair, that does mean that if I wanted to leak everything about the Galaxy Note 9 next Sunday live, I probably could, since, you know, it didn't make me sign an NDA. Who knows? The S10 will make up the lackluster sales on the S9. I think so too. I think the S10 will be a good launch for Samsung. What software features will the Note 9 have? It's going to have some interesting features. Dex is going to be an interesting feature. There might be some camera features. Might be some features. Not that I know. Is the S Pen just a gimmick to get us excited about the Note 9? Until then, it's kind of been snoozy. I mean, I really think people are underestimating the battery. The battery is a significant bump up from the S9 Plus. Like, if you are not satisfied with your S9 Plus battery life, you should get the Note 9. Simple as that. Without going into anything else. Any of the new camera features, any of the new Bixby features, any of these other new features on the Galaxy Note 9, the battery itself should be more than enough reason if you're unhappy with your smartphone battery life right now. So yeah. What software features will the Note 9 have? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I read that one. What would be the perfect smartwatch for you? The look of a Tizen watch with Google Apps. I think if a watch like this would have all the Google apps, that would be perfect. That would be the perfect smartwatch for me. Also, ideally, I do love, what was it, the new TicWatch E that had a dual display. So you had a regular OLED display, and then underneath it, you had like that old-fashioned kind of display for a watch, so that if you wanted to make it a dumb watch, you could, and yet it would still like buzz when you had notifications, and it would still keep your steps, and it would still do your heart rate. That's awesome. So that kind of stuff I would really like. Like kind of like an always on display, but instead it's a dumb watch look display, if that makes sense. Based on your experience, potentially, would it be worth it switching from the Note 8 to for the 9, or should I wait for the Note 10? So let's see. The Note 9 compared to the Note 8 will have a much better battery life. Much better battery life. Comparing those two specifically. The second thing is the S Pen will have a lot more functionality. So if you kind of use the pen on the Note 8, you will use it more on the Note 9. What else? I do miss my S Pen on my main phone that it's active, that I have the SIM card in. Let's see, what else? The camera in low light is much better. The camera in the Note 8 had a little bit of a lens flare. The Note 9 shouldn't have it. Might be some new features in the camera too. So yeah, those would be the differences. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. Where were we? There we are. Did you hear the Note and the... Oh, yes. Everyone's talking about the S series and the Note series merging. I'm going to stick to Windows. Apple is too limited. I agree with you for definitely for PC over Mac, in my opinion. I hope the Note 9 starts with 128 gigs, not 64. That would help sell a little bit better. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. What did you think about the Aquaman trailer? I thought it was good. I thought the Aquaman trailer was good. I liked the Shazam trailer, otherwise known as the Marvel movie. But yeah, honestly, yeah, I did think both those trailers were pretty good. Samsung needs to make sure they advertise the Galaxy X in the proper way. You only have one shot. That is definitely true. It definitely has to be marketed in the right way, and it definitely has to be presented with a wow factor. Samsung shouldn't get rid of the Note lineup. The Note lineup is the way for Samsung to keep on the bleeding edge tech, and second chance, same year, newer tech. Yeah, I agree. I really think that the Note series is something that Samsung should keep. For those of you wondering if I believe Samsung should do it, I think if they get rid of the Note series, they should only do it if the X series becomes a thing. So if the Galaxy X, the bendable smartphone, becomes a hit, then they might consider a Note series blending with an S10 Plus series. The reason why is just for the fact that you really get to dominate more so the second half. Because if you think about it this way, if Samsung just released one phone a year, that means their holiday season they wouldn't probably sell as much. I mean, you think about the Note series sells anywhere between 4 and 10 million smartphones by the end of the year after its launch. So, I mean, think about that. You really need to sell. It's really important to keep it that way, I think, because it would be a loss for Samsung if they got rid of it. Not to mention that phone's $900+ each year, so yeah. I don't know if you have mentioned this already, but did you hear Samsung is supposedly emerging? Yes, everyone's talking about it. Is Google changing their OS in a few years? So, what is it called? Fuchsia, I think, is the thing that Google's been working on for a while. And it was originally believed to replace Chrome OS, but now it's being talked about to replace Android OS, which I think is going to be an uphill battle. I get it. They kind of want to merge Chrome OS and Android OS, but I think they're doing it the right way right now by just bringing Android apps to Chrome. I think that's a much better way than making a whole new operating system. So yeah, I would keep Android and just think about things you're doing on Fuchsia and bring that over to Android, in my opinion, and Chrome. I also don't agree with, I forgot what tech reviewer said this, but they were like, oh, Android tablets are on their way out. They're not gonna, no, they're not, because Android tablets are still better than Chrome OS on a tablet, because Chrome OS isn't made for a tablet. So I just don't see that as being a thing. That's just me. How do you send money on Facebook Messenger? I have not tried that yet. I can send money on Android Messenger. That's how me and my friend, I buy tickets to to the movies, like the big Marvel movies, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff. And every time we go, he just pays me through there. So that's how it's done. Are you invited to the Samsung unboxing event? No, I was not invited. Yeah. I wonder how the Tab S4 work with DeX. I have a pretty good idea. Ricky, have you ever used a Hackintosh experiences? No, I have not used a Hackintosh. For those of you who don't know, a Hackintosh is basically putting a Mac OS on your PC. Never really thought of it to do it, but yeah, it's an interesting concept. I just, unless I really wanted Final Cut Pro, I probably wouldn't do it. I think that's the main reason to do it, to be honest. Let's see. Will you move to Final Cut if Adobe Premiere Pro doesn't improve, but you can't get Final Cut on? No, I would switch to DaVinci. DaVinci Resolve is really kind of moved up the ranks of editors right now, and that's the one I'm really looking at. I pre-gamed for the stream. Smart. What's up, Ricky? My Note 8 really has a low call volume. Have you heard of any bugs or anything that could fix this problem? I don't have a Note 8 with me, Evil, but all you do, try to go into the settings on the go into your phone app, then go to the settings in there and check all the call settings and see if anything has been switched off or on. Make sure the clarity is on there. There's like 2 or 3 things that you can improve your phone call quality with. So try that. If not, something could have gone wrong with it. You can download the Samsung Plus app and talk to a Samsung technician that can remote access the phone and see if there's something wrong with it, hardware or software that they can do. How do you stop ads on my Samsungs? Why do you have ads on your Samsung? What is it? That if you have ads popping up on your Samsung smartphone, you probably downloaded an app that's doing that. So I would start removing ads that you might not. Usually what I see, the ads that mess with your phone the most are like free music download apps and all this, anything where you're getting free stuff that you shouldn't be getting free stuff for are typically the apps that mess with your phone. So I would start by uninstalling those if you have ads popping up on your smartphone. How much will Samsung new tablet cost? I do not know the details on that one, actually. The rumor is between 500 and 600. I think the Tab S3 was 549, if I'm not mistaken. So I would imagine around that same cost. I hope 5G is tested in NYC. I think it depends on the carrier, but NYC is being tested by some carriers. Although I just don't remember the map of who is getting what where, and why. What improvement on the Tab S4 over the Tab S3? The speed will be improved. The aspect ratio to me is a great improvement. Overall, in terms of the S Pen, it's Bluetooth this time, so that'll be an interesting take on it. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to go down. I mean, I'm excited. I'm going to probably sell my Tab S4, Tab S3 in the next coming week or so, just to prep for the S4. Don't buy Chinese phones. They will spy on you. Depending on the Chinese phone, yeah, it's an interesting thing right now. Google didn't deserve the fine from the EU. I completely agree. I think the fine that the EU gave to Google is stupid. Mainly for the reason that, okay, are you going to fine Apple as well? I mean, you fined Google for putting all of these different things on preloaded on their operating system. It's like, really? I mean, do you fine Microsoft for putting all this pre-stuff on there? I mean, it's just like, come on now. It really is silly that they are fining Google and not fine. I mean, if the EU is doing that, they better fine Microsoft immediately, and they better fine Apple as well. Just because for Microsoft, it's identical to Google. And for Apple, I mean, okay, why can't another, they have a monopoly on iOS. Technically, by what the EU said, they have a monopoly on iOS. So what if another manufacturer wanted to make an iOS phone? How are you having a monopoly on, it's a tricky thing to kind of say that. I definitely don't believe the price of the fine was just worthy. I get it, the fact that, yeah, they might say, well, you should allow other people to use Google search, or sorry, use another search engine and still get them in the Play Store. I get that. That was a mistake in Google, and they should be fined for that maybe. But yeah, to fine them for having Google search and Google Maps on their phones, you have to realize that if you take those away from being pre-installed, you're only harming customers. Like, if I got an Android phone and it did not have my Google apps like Gmail, like Google Maps, like YouTube, if those aren't preloaded on my smartphone, I'm gonna be annoyed and pissed, and then you're only harming Google. So F you, EU, in that aspect for doing that. Not the entire EU, obviously. The people in charge there for that was silly and stupid to me. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. Do you think I should upgrade to the Note 8 to the Note 9? Again, it depends on the person, but the battery life will be a great improvement, and so will the low light camera. That's the easy question. That's the easy answer. Can we see the S Pen? No, because I don't have an S Pen. Do you think the Tab S4 will be around $500 in your opinion? Again, I think it will be from $500 to $600, somewhere around that ballpark. Ricky, you should check out Gears TV. It has all the premium channels and pay-per-view for $15 a month. That's interesting. I will check that out. I still need to do a cord cutters video too. Hey Ricky, I'd like to buy a Samsung Watch Icon X Gear 360. In 2019, the year of the Samsung's best, like the S10. Wait, is 2019 the year of Samsung's best? It will be a big year for Samsung, yes. Like the S10, because of the 10th year anniversary of Samsung, don't want to switch for 2 years. Yeah, then I mean, if you don't want to get a new phone till in 2 years after buying this one, yes, next year is a great year to buy. Ricky, do you think the Note 9 should have came with an IR blaster? Yeah, I think the Note 9 would have been better with an IR blaster. I want a heated cup, just saying. Ricky, what do an S Pen look like? The S Pen on the blue Galaxy Note 9 would look like a yellow all down the shaft, and then at the top it would be blue. That's what it would look like. Are you testing Rigsby on your Note 9 and you can't tell us? No, I am not testing Rigsby on my Note 9, and I cannot tell us. I meant to say can. LOL if you know that reference. Damn, Samsung. We wanted to send the Rixer to the Unpacked. Why are you hating on us? I know, right? Thank you for everyone that, by the way, did tweet out, email, and sent all those messages to Samsung. I really do appreciate it. We sent over 100 different messages through different social medias to Samsung, trying to get them to send us to Unpacked. It didn't happen this time around, but again, I cannot stress thank you guys so much for anyone who did send one of those messages. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, how do you feel about Google finding 5 billion yeah, on Google? Yeah, I really, again, I don't like it. Why did the S9 didn't sell better than the S8? Well, the S8 was going to sell amazing. Why? Because what was the phone before it? The Note 7. So you literally had people that didn't buy a Note and that desperately wanted a new phone. So you had the Note buyers and the S buyers all buy the S8. So that's why the S9 didn't change as much as it needed to. It really didn't. Everything that we wanted the S9 to have, we're going to get with the S10 next year. Did it change some things? Yes, but it didn't change enough. So yeah. And they sure as hell weren't going to push the battery on the S9 after everything with the Note 2. They had to wait longer. Not trying to talk bad about another YouTuber, but there's this guy named Griggles TV. He was actually on last week's episode. That really doesn't know know anything about tech. Sad he's going to Unpacked and you're not. You're awesome and accurate with rumors. Thank you, I really appreciate that. He was actually literally on last week on the chat. I remember seeing his name, and I remember that he's a YouTuber as well. But yeah, again, sometimes it's just the connections you have. Like, I know he's worked with Mr. Mobile, and Mr. Mobile has great ties. And a lot of other YouTubers, you know, they've networked with the right people. I've tried to network with the right people at Samsung, but every time I seem to talk with one, another one kind of came around. So yeah, it's just, they have too many PR companies. With Slick Deals, every day is Prime Day. Yeah. If you leak the Note 9 information, you will get famous just like Justine did when she received a 300-page bill from AT&T. A 300-page bill. You know, I've just really started watching iJustine more because they started featuring her on other YouTubers that I watch, like TLD and Your Average Consumer and MKBHD. She's been making her rounds, and Linus Tech Tips. So since she's been on those, I've kind of been seeing her more, and I've kind of liked some of her work. But yeah, I've never seen her before then. iPhone 11 Plus or Note 9. Do you think the iPhone Plus models will have split screen and picture-in-picture? No, I do not. We'll have to wait and see. That would really be a nice feature for Apple to come out with, a split screen capability. But yeah, I don't think so. For everything we know about the Note 9, you think it'll be worth changing from the Note 8? Again, battery life would be the biggest reason to change. S Pen has more features, and the camera is better than low light. What up? I'm late. Hey, what's up, man? When is the Tab S4 being announced? The Tab S4 looks like it will be at IFA, so at the beginning of September or at the end of August. I forget what IFA 2018 is. Let's see here. IFA 2018. August 31st through September 5th. So it'll be announced most likely August 30th. Where are we? Samsung Bixby speaker will do fine due to their large ecosystem and smart home devices. I don't think it is. I honestly think the Bixby speaker will not sell, and they're going to end up bundling it by the holidays with the S9 and Note 9. I think the Bixby speaker will not do well simply for the fact that it's too expensive. I get it. They're going to, you know, put Harman Kardon audio on there, and it's going to be really sounds really well, but, or even JBL, but you have so many Google Home competition at all different price ranges. I mean, Google Home speakers start at 50 bucks, 30 bucks when they're on sale, and go all the way up to 400, and you have one for every single price range. Samsung only having one at 250 will not sell, I don't believe. I just don't believe it will. So yeah, that's my opinion. Well, wait, we'll see. I'm very interested. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna sell. I think mark my words, that it will end up being bundled with the S9 and with the Note 9 for free, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, something along those lines, by the holiday season. I really hope no one catches you using the Note 9 in public. Look, I would never take the Note 9 in public. Not that I have the Note 9, but if I had it, I would not take it in public. If you need an i9 in your MacBook, just get an iMac desktop. I mean, yes, that's true, but again, it is editing on the go. Again, the people that would use an i9 on a laptop are people when they edit on the go. So for instance, when I go to CES, I have an i7 processor. I have a dedicated graphics card. I want to have as good of a laptop as I can so that the editing doesn't take forever, because that's the enemy, the editing. The speakers on the Note 9 will be a major improvement from the Note 8 over. Yes, that is also true. I'm all for a merger of the S Plus series if it keeps the 4,000 milliamp battery. I know, right? I wish Samsung brings back the keyboard shortcut feature from the Note 4. Oh, I remember what you're talking about. Wow, that's an old school one. But yeah, that was a fun hidden feature I remember back in the day. What are the advantages and disadvantages of horizontal and vertical camera setups? I don't really think there are particular advantages or disadvantages, because really you're just switching between cameras. So I don't really think it matters too much as long as they're close together, because that way you can have it the same way. But there shouldn't be too much of a difference either way as long as they're closer to each other. That's all that matters, that they are close. Let's see. So you are saying that when the Note 9 does come out, you will switch. I am saying that yes, but you have to keep in mind, I'm a YouTuber. So, for instance, Would I have switched from the Note 8 to the S9 if I wasn't a YouTuber, or would I have waited for the Note 9? Okay, I probably would have got the S9 too, but I have a problem. Most people should not have needed to switch twice. I think you would only switch once a year, but that's just what I would say the average person should do. Not people that have problems with tech addictions. Just saying. You should show you should show your desk in the future live so we can see that you don't have a Note 9. I cannot show my desk right now. That's all I'm gonna say. What's the release date for the Tab S4? It will be released in September. The EU did find Microsoft. I'm not sure about Apple. Yeah, but see, they're finding Google and saying Google has to change in the next few weeks. Microsoft hasn't changed. So that's just my thing. It's like, I feel like they're not as harsh on other ones, and they, you know, does that make sense? Let me know, guys, if you think I'm being like overly harsh on it. I think it's silly to ever, like, it would really upset me if I ever get an Android smartphone without the Google Play Store, without all these different stores built into it. And all these different apps built into it. It's just like, it's another step that I have to do, which why should I have to if I never did before? If that makes sense. How do I convince my niece to stay with Samsung when all her friends are on FaceTime? I'm not sure. Show her how good the video quality is. Show her a lock screen 4K video and be like, show them this. I don't know. It depends, but yes. So yes. Had to pick up the right phone. How will the S Pen charge for the Tab S4? Will it include a connector on the outside? I am not sure how that one will charge. But it can last for a long time without needing a charge. Yeah. I lost my contacts recently on my S9 Plus. I contacted T-Mobile to see if they could assist me, and their response is, if you deleted your old email address, this can cause it. Anyone can help. Okay, so you lost your contacts recently on your S9 Plus. Where were the contacts from? Did you not have them synced up to your SIM card? Did you not have them synced up to your Google account? Like, all my contacts are all on my Google account, so I never need to, every time I add a contact, it's in my Google account. So that would be something. If all your contacts were like from a Microsoft Exchange account, if you did delete your email, that would also cause it. But yeah, T-Mobile has nothing to do with your contacts. It really depends on how you back them up. And yeah, if you literally just had your contacts on your phone, there is very little that can be done with it. I mean, your S9 Plus, if you signed into a Samsung account, it gives you an option to auto back up your contacts. But again, I don't know what you did beforehand, so I don't know how to recover them now, if that makes sense. Do you think Samsung will include something free to help sell the Note 9? I'm trying to find that out right now. The Players Club IPTV service has local channels. I've started to heard about IPTV, but yeah. I just hope the S Pen on the black Note is black. Yep. I'm glad that Samsung executives are looking at Chinese competition to improve their phones. I agree with that. Do you think, do you have the Tab S4? No, I do not have the Tab S4. I don't want a two-tone phone. Yeah, not all phones will be two-tone. Will Samsung ever move away from Android and just use Tizen? No. No, they will not. No time in the, I mean, Android would have to just really horribly go bad for them to do that. Note 9 will have Android P. Don't believe so. I love to get the Note 9 black and yellow. That would be interesting. Proudly call it Bumblebee. But I may go to the Tab S4 for the larger screen and drawing. Still happy with my Note 8. There you go. Ricky, where can I get a Note 7 ringtones and notifications? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That I wouldn't. I don't know where you can get specific ringtones and notifications. Well, at least you get the Note 9 before everyone else, right? Maybe I'll get the Note 9 before everyone else. Let's see. Hi, Ricky. Sorry I'm late, but hello anyways. Hello. Samsung Watch comes out every year. When is its release time? Oh, we talked about it earlier. If you missed the beginning of the show, the Galaxy Watch will be coming out on August 24th. It will be announced with the Note 9 on August 9th. If you get a Samsung logo haircut on the side of your head, then they will have to choose you and let you at the next Samsung event, probably even first class. Samsung, if you're listening, if you send me to the Unpacked event for the Galaxy S10, I would have my hair cut with the Samsung logo on it. Just saying. Let me know. Probably cut it after a little bit, but I would have it for that day. Galaxy Note 9 will also have stereo speakers and 4K 60 recording. Yes, it will. There's a mirror behind you. Solid blue Note 9 with the shiny S Pen. No, there's not. There is not a mirror behind me, so you cannot see what is clearly not there. Galaxy Note 9 Google Edition, quad speakers, and it's game over with an IR blaster. That would be awesome. Code for Note 9, touch your nose, please. Look, guys, how many times have I tell you, I do not have a Note 9. I do not have a Galaxy Note 9. I do have this terrible itch, though. Check out this. Watch Radiance A3 smartwatch for $50. Very interesting, huh? Could be political reasons as to why they're hitting Google so hard. Yeah, that could be possible. Although I don't know the politics in the EU well enough to know that. Can you do behind the scenes of your show? That would really be cool to see how you set up prior to live show. No, my office isn't where I want it to be to do behind the scenes right now. Not to mention I have to hide some stuff. So yeah, not right now, but maybe in the future. Let's see. What colors does the Tab S4 come in? What colors is yours? Just flashy real quick. I won't say a word. The Tab S4 will come in black and silver. If Google has to be fine, we have to change everything around, then Apple need to change the App Store and all the restrictions. Yeah, I would say I would agree with that then. Samsung should sell different color S Pens like Nintendo sells different color controllers. That would be an interesting concept and an easy way for them to make money, actually. That'd be interesting. Are phone colors overrated? We get covers anyway. What's the point? I do agree. I think that smartphone colors are overrated unless you have a clear case, which I do. If I really like a smartphone color, I will usually put a clear case on it as opposed to a different kind of case. So yeah. To help with FaceTime, WhatsApp is available for iOS. Yeah, I mean, you can do the alternatives, obviously. You can do Google Duo, you can do WhatsApp, you can do Hangouts. All of those have video chats that are also on iOS. Can you send videos without losing video quality, trimming the video on Android? You don't lose quality if you trim video on iMessage. Yeah, Matt, we have that if you want to check out the video on how to send a 4K video from the Galaxy S9. We have a step-by-step video on how to send it. It's something called ShareLink. Basically, you can send up to a 2 gig file without compressing, without trimming, without anything. Just sends the full quality video to an iPhone, to a Samsung, to anywhere. So yeah, yes you can. Let's see. One better, get the notch haircut from the TV ad. I won't go that far. My widow's peak is just there, man. Okay, it's hard. I guess I could just like go like this, and then I would have a notch. Or this is a notch in itself, as many commenters point out like every time I talk about the notch. Man, what is he talking about? He has a notch on his forehead. Da, da, da. Where did I get the background music? All the links for all my music for my videos is in the bottom of the description. Hi Ricky, what's your view on the soon to come out Bigsby speaker? I just talked about it a little bit ago, but I don't think it'll sell well. The Bigsby speaker, I feel, just is going to be too expensive. Yes, it'll have great audio quality, but to be honest, it's just not going to sell well because Google Home, its biggest competitor, is at too many price points. It's going to be down from 30 bucks all the way down to 400 bucks at Google Homes, and you can get literally at every single price point. So Bigsby speaker will not sell well, and it will be bundled with the S9 and the Note 9 by the holiday season, in my opinion, because of its lack of sales. Did you already talk about the Galaxy X bendable phone? Yes, we talked about it earlier, and I'm getting less and less excited about it because of the limitations of what they can currently do. Galaxy X2 though, that one's gonna be awesome. I just wish Samsung future design phone would have no notch, but have a front-facing camera, sensors, fingerprint, all under the display. It's almost impossible to do a camera under the display just because of how cameras work and how it's being covered with light. So yeah, it's almost impossible. Did the Note 8 ever get 4K 60 FPS? I feel like they promised it in an update, but I never saw it before I sold mine. No, it didn't, and they didn't promise it. It was something that was accidentally put on there, but they did correct it with a disclaimer. I was always curious why they didn't come out with it out of the box like iPhones. Yeah, it just didn't. The S9 did, and the Note 9 does. Good idea, Alex. In fact, Samsung should have S Pens wrapped in team logos. Yeah, I think they should customize the S Pens. I think that is a good idea. Is the Note 9 coming with Gorilla Glass 6? Don't know. So I have been using the iBlasten cases. I cut out the screen protector, best case after. Nice. Where did you get... Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Hey, Ricky, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I think Apple avoids fines because they exclusively manufacture phones and the software. Yes, but again, that's the thing. Google exclusively manufactures phones and software, but they license it as well. And now they're trying to control how they license the phone. So, yeah. Hi Ricky, thanks for answering my questions for previous live video. No problem. Say no to the notch. Yep. You should do a tutorial on how to add custom sound like ejection and inserting it on the S Pen on the Note 8. I did that, didn't I? I swear I did that. If I didn't do that, I definitely have it on a video called Must Have Apps for the Galaxy Note 8. And I do show that. It's called S-Buddy, if I'm not mistaken. And that is how you do custom notification sounds. Apple does not manufacture any of its products. Okay, it designs all their products, but yes, they do not manufacture any of their products. You are right. Technicality, you know. would you give up front sensors on front sensors and camera for full front screen? I would. I've actually, when we've gone over on how to eliminate the notch video, and again, how I think the notch will eventually be eliminated is, one, I don't need, first of all, I do not need sensors like this anymore if I have this. So if I have a always on display, I do not need the sensor at the top. I'm fine with that. I don't need it anymore. As for the front facing camera, get rid of it entirely. Put a screen back here, you know, a nice 2.5-inch display screen, and I can use it to now video chat. I mean, they had one, Samsung did have one on a patent that went all the way across the back. So a screen this big, that's talking about around a 3 to 3.5-inch display, screen all the way around the back that you can use for apps to do video chat and to take amazing selfies with a rear camera instead of a stupid front-facing camera. It is the future. One camera to rule them all. Does the VR still worth the buy, or should I wait till for more and better tech in AR? Honestly, the Oculus Go is the best VR I would get right now, and I did do a video on that if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's the best one, I would say. I wonder what camera specs would be on the S10 with the 5 cameras. Oh, yes, I should wrap it up. You are right. Thank you guys for always reminding me about the whole that I'm running long, that my wife will get mad at me. So yeah, guys, we will wrap this up. But yeah, lots of fun videos coming out this week. And next Sunday, next Sunday, won't be one you want to miss. Alright guys, thank you as always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to give a like, thumbs up before you head out, and share this video with anyone that's interested on any of the new Samsung Unpacked event and everything they're going to announce, because yeah, we're not going, but we know everything about it. Alright guys, thank you again. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there, and right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.